right? You give like best friend vibes. Like you kind of, do people come just tell you wild stuff?
Yeah, all the time. People
Okay.
cry in my
Right,
classes.
right,
After
right.
class, like,
Right.
yeah.
You're the person that if I don't know you, like, out, like, I could see someone not as strong as me, but like, just crying to you, telling you some real 100%. Personal stuff.
Yeah, a lot comes up.
Yeah. But
in yoga.
You were firm there. You were strong, right? And then you saw me struggling. You came, you said, hey, I'm going to touch, grab you here and tell you. You asked for my consent.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you helped me get into form, and I had a great experience.
I think that's a perfect symbol of just like showing up as you are. And that's what I always say to the people I work with and anyone who comes to class is just showing up as you are, whether that's you having jeans on, whether that's not being flexible enough or whatever it is, whatever your excuses are, just show up as you are. And I think that's the hardest part. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Biggs versus Biggs. It's only one Biggs here, the one you guys wanted to see anyway. And I have a special guest here with us. I have Savanna Bell, and you have another last name too, right? Stevens. Yes. I like that. You have two last names. Yes. I always wanted to be that important. I'm trying to figure out my next last name, but it's not about me right now. Please tell the people about yourself. I mean, you're an amazing yoga instructor. I've actually done a yoga class with her, and I'm a tough guy. In jeans. We're going to get to that. I'm a tough guy, so she kept like, "Hey, do the yoga." But please, Savanna, tell the people about yourself. Absolutely. I like to say I'm a proud member of like that multi-hyphenate generation, right? So model, yoga instructor, yoga for athletes certified.
Okay.
Happy to be here. Founder of S3 Yoga, writer, speaker, all the things, and mental health and wellness advocate, which is something I'm super passionate about. So yeah.
So we met through one of my best friends, Philip, and we're chilling in Soho House. You come up, he's like, it's my friend Savanna, and then you come up and like immediately you were just super duper cool. Told you about the pod, and you just had such a great personality to you, so warm. And it was just, you just talked about, you wanting to open up the throat chakras, yoga slang, and stuff like that. And here we are. Right. Doing the class, right?
Yep.
One of my main reluctancies to do it. That's a word?
Yeah.
Reluctancies. Jay, that's a word?
Hesitations. You're reluctant. But
reluctancies.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
It is. Reluctancies is definitely a word, right?
Okay. We're going to go with
my main reluctancies were, me coming from the Christian faith. I was like, is this a religious thing? Right? And when I got into your class, you said something. You were like, hey, repeat this after me. This is not a religious thing. So I want to talk about it. Do you ever run into that with people who want to do yoga?
100%. There's so many barriers, I feel like, with yoga, and I think that's really been my sweet spot of I had the opportunity to study at like an Indian ashram, learn the lineage of yoga, which is like thousands of years old, and being able to translate that to our community, right? Specifically for me, it's millennials, athletes, and people of color. I think that we need the healing the most.
Right.
And the potent tools and benefits of yoga, I pretty much I feel like a translator, really. Right. So yoga is not religious. I think, what was I saying? Lokasam, like the ending.
Right.
It's literally just a language thing. It's in Sanskrit, which is the ancient language there, like Latin and Roman, right?
Okay.
So that was that. But yeah, I get that as a barrier. I've worked with athletes before. They're like, I don't what is this? So no, it's not religious.
Yeah, you made yoga seem sexy.
I received that.
Yeah, you said you made it seem appealing. So as I go through the class, me, Philip, Chris are there, and I'm like, yo, I don't have any shorts. I pictured yoga, I don't know. I just picture a lot of white
For
women.
sure.
And,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and them
I go to yoga classes all the time. I'm the only person of color there.
Really?
Still, yeah.
So I
get that.
You bringing yoga to the hood.
Basically.
Okay. We're gonna do a class in the projects. Me and you.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
I think we should.
Jay, what projects do we bring yoga to?
You heard it here
projects.
first.
Yeah. We bringing yoga to the hood. But I got there.
Yep.
I pull up. You know. I know the middle-aged women are looking at me like,
Yeah.
is he gonna change his shorts? I try to go to the back immediately. I try to go to the back of the bus immediately, but then you're like, yo, you gotta like, come on.
There's
like,
space right up front.
I'm like, dang, man.
I promise I don't bite.
Gosh. So I got the jeans on,
Yep.
but then Chris got the jeans on, and then Philip got the jeans on. So I'm like, yo, we just got jeans on, right? So I'm doing the yoga. Is it hard to maneuver with the jeans on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it get a little sweaty? Yeah. But I was glad it wasn't hot yoga. Mm-hmm. Because that'd have been hard. But do you do hot yoga too?
I do hot yoga also. Yeah, when available, right?
Wow.
You know, I don't have a hot yoga room in my house or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do all kinds of yoga. Yeah.
Okay, you do the hot yoga. As you got there, I must say, personality changed. I was extremely you were like a real teacher, right? You give like best friend vibes. Like you kind of. Do people come just tell you wild stuff?
Yeah, all the time. People
Okay.
cry in my classes, after
right.
class, like
Right.
yeah.
You're the person that if I don't know you, like out, like I could see someone not as strong as me, but like, just crying to you, you know, telling you some real
100%.
personal stuff.
Yeah, a lot comes up.
Yeah, but
in yoga.
you were firm there. You were strong, right? And then you saw me struggling. You came. You said, "Hey, I'm gonna touch, grab you here and help you." You asked for my consent.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
And you helped me get into form, and I had a great experience.
Yeah, I feel like, sorry to cut you off there, but I think that's a perfect symbol of just like showing up as you are. And that's what I always say to the people I work with and anyone who comes to class is just showing up as you are, whether that's you having jeans on, whether that's not being flexible enough or whatever it is, whatever your excuses are, just show up as you are. And I think that's the hardest part.
I remember when Pastor said that too, like show up, come as you are.
Yeah.
I was like, word, so
yeah.
I sometimes I wear my Jesus is Poppin' shirt to church,
you go.
Like that helped me out because the outfits was the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people don't look fly in workout clothes; they just look fly in regular clothes.
Yeah.
Or church clothes didn't feel comfortable. So
go.
that was a big part to me. So you've worked with a lot of athletes, and I would imagine some of them had surgeries, so they want to become more flexible. You told me about you having an injury and how yoga helped you.
Yeah, so yoga saved my life mentally, physically, spiritually. Initially, what brought me to yoga, I used to hoop back in the day.
Yo, I could tell, yo.
Back in the day.
You look familiar.
Chill. I mean, New York high school basketball scene.
Oh, that's a big scene.
I was averaging 25 and 15.
Yo, that's crazy. Jay, look who I be bringing here, man.
Elite athletes over here.
Wow, so you was Angel Reese before Angel Reese. This is crazy.
But so tore my ACL and meniscus, and I had torn my ACL and meniscus. When I had the surgery, there were complications. I ended up having a blood clot. They sent me home. Had I not said anything, I would have died. The blood clot would have gone straight to my heart. So it was like that intuition. Like I just knew something was off, and I was like, I need to go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And that I could already that ties back to yoga too, right? Having that mental awareness and being tapped in, tuned in with my body to realize there was something wrong. But yeah, so had the surgery, had all these complications, was on all these like blood thinners and trying to get my range of motion back, all that stuff. Found yoga, and the rest is history from there. It brought my range of motion back. So many benefits. And when I work with athletes, there's so many benefits. I can go on and on, but really when thinking about injury prevention, so even whether you've been injured or not, helps. You know, that active recovery. You can get your cardio in. You can get your strength in. That's what I love about yoga, is that it gives you what you need. It's a full body practice.
Yeah, and it's also challenging. I was surprised to see how challenging it was as we worked out and did it. But hearing about it helping with your surgery is amazing. You know, I'm learning that this is a part of the game. You know, I've had 2 surgeries myself. Very tough, very challenging time.
Yeah.
Mentally exhausting.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, as ball players, boxers, we're very competitive, you know.
Yes.
So
yes.
we love our peers, but then again, we're always watching like, I got to get back, and maybe sometimes it's too soon. We feel like time is getting away from us. You know, our lifespan is so short in these sports. So can you tell me, like, mentally what was going on around that time? Like, how'd you feel emotionally
during when I was injured?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was definitely one of the lowest points of my life. I think a common thread in my journey, both as an athlete, model, now with the yoga business, entrepreneur, has been just not giving up on myself. So whether on or off the court, I think yoga is a great analogy for life as well. I just never gave up on myself. I was at my lowest, but I just knew that, like, I didn't want to jinx it, but like, I can't get worse than this, right? Like, I'm just being present with where I'm at. Like, all right, this shit is gonna suck right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just research, figure out what I can do mentally, physically, spiritually. So I just didn't give up on myself, and yoga was that guiding light for me.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That is really, really, really incredible. I know during my time, I didn't have yoga.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very tough, challenging time. You're hearing all these things, and people are like, oh, man, just do this or take this or drink apple cider vinegar, man.
Right.
And, you know,
like all these quick fixes.
Yeah, you should never got surgery. I had a friend tell me, man, listen. Your shoulder's messed up, right? Pineapples, celery, spinach, peanuts. 3 times a day. Shoulders fixed.
Well, shoot, I was at the point where that's like, again, I mentioned earlier about the nerve damage too, right? Like, I was at my lowest, and I was trying all that stuff too, right? Like, yeah, to give you the green, whatever. I was putting all this stuff in my smoothies, and you know, but yeah, I was just being open and willing to just try any and everything.
I'm stopping your beat. That's like,
like
I was trying to eat all kind of, just vegetables,
it was just like a Hail Mary, like, help.
It got, I saw, I remember at the time, I saw this guy, right?
Yeah.
And like, the more ancient a person looks, the more I want to listen to them.
Fair.
This guy was like, listen, brother, I don't drink water. I only drink coconut water. And look at me. I'm 105 years old. I said, dang, maybe what is the problem?
Right.
The health scene is so crazy because, like, I knew it was crazy when I started questioning water. When I started turning down. I was raised on Poland Spring. I was raised on tap water. When I started to go, now I'll drink Poland Spring. And then had to go to Fiji water. I'm like, nah, no Fiji water. Then what was the other one?
I swear by Sencha.
Sencha was one of the last ones I went to. Core, but one of them was acidic. Which one was acidic that people were like? Dasani. Because I went from Poland, went to tap water, Poland Spring, Dasani, which was acidic. Then I went to Fiji. I forgot Fiji's taste was a little weird. Then I went to Sencha. And then Essentia was, this is the electrolytes. I was like, I'm good. Then I was like, nah, man, don't drink Essentia. So now I'm confused. I don't drink water no more.
You're not drinking water anymore.
I'm not drinking anymore. I'm confused. Now I just drink coconut water. It's so confusing.
I feel like my rule of thumb, especially navigating like the health and wellness industry, is like, just do what feels good.
Right.
Like, that's like my rule. Because like, you can get so caught up in it's something as simple as water, right?
Yeah, man.
Do what feels good.
I just go off of where, if my money's low, I'll probably go to Poland Spring. The water started getting expensive. It's like
Man,
$5
it
an
is.
essential water. It's like, yo. But no, I mean, I want to also talk about, you deal with a lot of mental health. And I think coming from where you came from, getting back healthy, right? Understanding that the process has a lot to do with the mental health aspect of it.
Right.
How did you start implementing that in with the yoga? Like the speaking and
Speaking on mental. It's really just been the birth child of like my lived experience. Obviously, the mind-body connection is, if your body's not right, your mind's going to be off, and vice versa, right? If your mind's not there,
right,
how you show up, how you perform in the ring, on the court is affected by that. So I've always taken that 360 approach to like mind, body, and spirit. And that's what I love about yoga. I was teaching the yoga for like the MBA camps a couple summers ago. And a brilliant question, he was like, well, what's the difference between stretching and yoga?
Damn, he'd have me so mad, yo.
No, but I could.
Okay, you can explain
I can answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So stretching, you're just all right. I'm stretching my muscles, whatever.
Right,
There's not
right.
much thought into it.
Right.
With yoga, it's two key differentiators. It's a conscious thing that you're doing, and two, you're focusing on your breath, and especially as athletes, helping the physical part of it with endurance, your breath work when you're performing in the ring, right? Having that endurance is important, but it also brings you to the present moment.
Right, right.
So in class, right, I'm like always inhale, reach your arms up, exhale, reach your arms down. So having that conscious awareness and the breath brings that mind-body connection together.
Okay. Who are some of the, you talked about working with the NBA. Who are some of the athletes you got a chance to work with that was like pretty cool?
Oh, man. So, NBA. So let me start before with the yoga stuff. My pre-yoga model influencer life, I was working for the NBA. So I studied media and communications, worked in sports management, was doing all of the NBA All-Star weekends, summer league. Think about all the stuff off the court.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, being in that world, I've seen a lot, and I think about, again, it's not just on the court. That's obviously the main thing of why you're doing what you're doing, but it's the dealing with the manager, the contracts, the money, the promotions, the baby mama drama.
Baby mama drama. Yo,
man,
Jay has a bunch of that,
as a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Right? So yoga has... And then once I transitioned, and finding my calling with yoga, it really, I think, helps us as humans deal with all of that. You got it. I mean,
once you said you had me in baby mama drama, so yoga can help with baby mama drama. You got everybody. This is the key.
Well,
that's the selling point, right?
That's the selling
Jay, y'all
point.
connect after this. He doesn't have
what I mean by that, though, is having the presence,
right,
patience, to deal with the noise, the outside noise. And when you're on the yoga mat, that's just practice for real world, for real life. The real yoga isn't doing the warrior twos and...
it's the real life stuff.
The real yoga is when you're stuck in traffic for an hour trying to go 10 blocks, and how are you going to show up?
Right.
The real work is you're realizing your career is coming to an end as an athlete. What am I going to do next? And having that presence and patience with yourself, that self-love with yourself and within your mind and your body to navigate life.
Yeah. And that's the tough part. A lot of athletes have trouble after you retire and you're trying to find your calling. This has been your life since 7 years old, and now you're coming to grips with you have to do something else.
Yeah, well, I think you're the perfect example of that, right? And you're even doing it, while you're still fighting.
Exactly.
And something I found is, with the work I'm doing, modeling for me was always a childhood dream, right? And like athletes, that's a very short shelf life as well.
Yeah, it is.
And now before the goal is always like, all right, I want to be a model and work for, like, I just like, you know, like your childhood dreams, whatever that is for you as an athlete. And now I'm at the point of like, all right, I made it. Like I'm getting paid to do what I want to be doing.
It's crazy, right?
And now it's like me navigating, oh, well, I'm more than just a pretty face, right? Like I want to help people through yoga. I want to speak. I want to write books. And now letting that just be one part of me. It's not.
Right.
So for me, it's the modeling, right? For people listening, probably like being an athlete, right? That's just one part of you. And seeing it as that versus like all of you.
Right. And I think compartmentalizing and going, okay, right now I'm Justin the boxer. And this is all I care about at this moment, right?
Sure.
This part of the day.
Yeah.
And in this part of the day, I'm the media guy. You know, I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just switching, because I can see how sometimes, you know, certain things start to clash. And you're not, what is it, a master of... jack of all trades is a master of none, right?
Sure.
But knowing how to be time management and scheduling things, and you know, we've seen, you know, Jason Tatum. Did he win MVP?
No. Didn't Jaylen Brown?
No, I'm sorry, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown won MVP, and like his thing was that he was too smart, right? They thought they'd be too smart for the league, and it would detract from his playing. But he was able to really go ahead and you know, be the best player on the best team, right, for the playoffs. Even boxers, the Klitschko's, one's a boxer, one's a mayor, Pacquiao becoming senator while fighting. And that takes extreme level of time management and, you know, compartmentalizing.
Yeah, and also just the way I kind of approach it is just showing up as myself in every hat that I wear. Because that, like, you're always going to be you.
Right.
So whether I'm modeling, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm writing, like, I'm always just showing up as myself. Yeah, I always say too, like, I'm not the best model, I'm not the best yoga instructor, I'm not the best entrepreneur, but in my pursuit to being the best version of those things, I become the best version of myself.
Wow.
Right? So that's required a different level of me, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So it's the pursuit, but like you can't, you know, get caught up in like the gold medals and the trophies, right? You always hear like it's not about the it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's so corny.
It's corny,
But I would say there's a reason why like cliches are cliche. Right?
I just heard that last year.
I think there's a level of truth in it. What?
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. I'm not. I heard that 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, you thought it was cool? Okay, sorry. I hate
it's corny, but it is corny. Now you said that.
I guess being in the health and wellness makes you hear that shit all the time.
Word? Like, you guys hear that?
Yeah.
We don't hear that where I'm at. Jay, you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang, I gotta travel more, huh? I gotta get outside more, man.
And I mean, there's a similar saying.
They say it a lot.
In Podden.
You can imagine something.
Oh yeah. You probably hear all kind of stuff, kind of bars, right? Okay.
And there's a yoga version of it too. It's like it's not about touching your toes. It's about the journey of getting there.
Wow.
To touch your toes, right?
Oh, it's not about. Oh yeah, wow. Because I can't do that.
No, you don't need to.
Everybody was doing it in your class too. You had some people doing some.
Racehorses wear blinders for a reason.
Oh, because you keep looking at them other people.
Just stay focused.
Yeah.
Same way in your sport.
Yeah.
Why are we looking left?
Can't be looking at them. That's okay that they could do that. One day I'll be able to do that.
I always say in my classes too, right? Like the person who's touching their toes has to go. All that means is they have to go further to find their edge. Find your edge.
Wow.
And that's all that really matters.
Yeah, because me touching my knees is a big deal.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was
in jeans.
That was huge for me. In jeans, that was huge for me. And you know what I heard? I don't know if you guys ever heard of this one, but comparison is a thief of joy. You heard that one in the wellness?
Yeah, 100%.
You heard all of them. There's nothing I'm gonna say that's gonna impress her. Jay, did you hear that one?
You've already impressed me. You're showing up.
Gosh, I can't touch. Man, I guess me doing yoga in the jeans impressed you. So there we go.
Very impressive.
You guys got all the bars, man. You must hit people. You talk to your parents. You hit them with stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, like you're probably really wise, right?"
I mean,
You're probably killing them.
I was
with the
saying
bars.
this. I feel like I've done so much self-help work and therapy, yoga, all you name it. I was talking to someone the other day. I was like, those who shine the brightest have seen the darkest days. Right? Like, I've had to go through some shit I'm always like, turn your pain into purpose.
Wow.
So like I offer whoever's listening, whatever you're going through, whether it's an injury, whether it's, you don't want it, you're not where you're at, you're not where you want to be in your career.
Yeah.
Whatever, like life is always gonna life.
Right.
And I think it's about how are you gonna show up in the struggle.
The tough part, I remember seeing a fighter cancel a fight. I think the first guy I ever seen do this, Ryan Garcia, and it was like mental health reasons, right? We in the boxing world immediately said this kid is not built for this. I heard a kid one day say, fighter say, "Yo, man, I have anxiety. Like fighting in front of crowds really bugs me out." I said to myself, "This kid is not meant for this." Then I saw Ryan get his big victory, and mental health issues is just something that fighters live with. That I thought that just made us vicious, and it's something like a monster we had to live with to be able to do what we have to do. Seeing Deontay Wilder, he did ayahuasca, right? And when he lost, we in the boxing community blamed it on that. We said, man, you did that stuff, man. Yo, you got to be vicious. Stop doing that. You can't be doing that stuff and coming to boxing. You're too peaceful. You're a man of war. You got to, like a lot of, we heard Mike talk about it. He said, I was born. I thought to myself, I'm a god of war. I'm there for destruction, So what room is there for things like that, right?
Yeah. That's a really good question.
It messes me up.
Yeah.
Because I think the more it was a fighter, Marvin Hagler, he said it's hard to get out of bed when you have silk pajamas. Like we're in this because we're from the poorest of poorest towns, and we're a bunch of poor kids fighting other poor kids. I mean, you may see the glitz and the glamour and this and that, but the ones that survive are always the most vicious. Now, the tales after boxing are usually you fight too long, you get addicted to it. You're a gladiator that has a long time ago earned your freedom, but you don't want to leave the Coliseum. You still rather there be the domino over you. The promoter that makes you fight, and you're fighting all these challenges. You killed the lion, the tiger, the bear, but eventually you're going to be consumed by a gladiator that's younger and stronger and faster and eventually more vicious. And then you usually die poor and broke in a shell of yourself. So it's like keep the killer instinct, hope that around the point you leave in time, right? You leave boxing doesn't leave you, and then you have the money and you're a whole person. So I want to know your thoughts on that. Like,
thank you for sharing that. I think that was, very real truth and reality. What came to mind when you were saying that is like, but at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost? Again, taking a 360 approach to it, thinking about life outside of boxing, not even life after, just life outside of boxing, and thinking about how you want to show up as a man in this world. And I think there's a lot I can go on and on about just, what masculinity in our society, how that's been, I think, defined and says who, and especially as black men of color. I think there's a lot of, it's a very, different experience to most other people on the planet. But I would the advice I would give is using the tools of like being mentally aware, the benefits that come from yoga, that mental awareness and clarity.
Yeah.
Use it as a tool too. Yeah. When you're in the ring, like having that and like being able to turn it on and off, I think, is, I'm not saying, like whatever you need to do for your sport. Like I'm not saying go in the ring, namaste, hugging your opponent or whatever. But more so being able to use the mental awareness while you're fighting, and really just thinking about how you want to show up as a man.
Yeah. It's, we live by, it's like, I don't know if you heard this one, like kill or be killed, so when my dad as a little boy, he told me, like, I used to feel a way about hurting people. I was like, oh, Dad, like, 'cause a lot of my sparring partners are my friends.
Right.
And we go in there, we put that gear on, and I'm trying to, like, hurt this kid. And he, and he's like, oh, it's like he would have did it to you. And then, I was always on top of everything. But then the day it happened to me, like, someone got the best of me.
Right.
I saw how happy they were. So it became very, it's a little boy. It became very normal for me to hurt people, and to become that person. And the more vicious I was, the better I was. And then becoming into manhood, the stakes are higher. You start to really hurt people. And like, that is my goal. Like, when I'm in there, I'm a different person than talking to you. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I
haven't met him yet.
The thoughts in my head are like, I want to hurt this person worse than they've ever been hurt. I want to make an example of this person. I want to be seen as like the most vicious fighter of all time. And I pray I don't kill him. That's how.
How do you show up outside of the ring? And how are you able to?
To be honest, I mean, everything. It's like the movie is the fights. Everything between is kind of a blur. And then it's just blur, 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 fight. I'm very alive for those moments. So I kind of find life outside of that, not as a, like, I sometimes I'm not able to feel certain things, but the fight I can feel, right? And the joy of that win, I can feel. So a lot of things, when I am in positions to where that I'm having a great conversation, right, something that sparks it kind of slows down time, but in between that, it's always sped up to those moments. Yeah.
We were talking earlier, how do you envision life outside of fighting when you're 50?
I mean, I hope at that time that I would have fell in love with something that I found more important. Like, I didn't sacrifice too much. Like probably kids, and I'm just business. I think, like, potting and doing this show and speaking to interesting people, and helping people. Helping people to balance their life, and especially I think even our people that are underrepresented, underappreciated, underpaid. I always think about, if I had $1 billion, right? Or like,
money, no objects.
What would I do with $1 billion other than help people? It'd make me happy to see other people be financially stable.
Yeah, I love that. And, I would say, I always say with yoga too, it's like, I never say instead of, it's always an addition to. So like, as a fighter, like, don't lose that killer instinct that's made you who you are and like really great at your sport, right? When thinking about, if anyone takes anything away from this, it's not about losing that killer instinct and what's made you how amazing you are, like, in your sport. I would just offer to begin thinking outside of boxing and seeing what's possible.
Right,
And
right.
it's just one part of you. And
Yeah.
I think, everything that you just said about, helping people and starting your business and the podcast, and there's so much more to life.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot
And sports is the perfect analogy
Yeah.
for life.
yeah.
Especially team sports, but so really just thinking outside of that. And for me, again, if everyone's always like, oh, I'm not flexible enough, or I'm not this
Yeah.
and not that, it's not just showing up as you are and being open and willing to see what's possible, and taking the time to reflect on what can I do, right? It's
Right.
like being able to sit in silence with yourself, with
Right.
God, with the universe, whatever you want to call it, and having those moments of just silence will help on and off the court. Sorry, you always use the basketball analogies.
No, that's good, man. That's good.
But yeah, seeing what's possible.
Yeah. Listen, I think that you should be a balanced human being.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of my thoughts, like other guys' thoughts out there, or boxing people or sports people, are mostly probably superstition. You
Okay.
know? I don't know if ayahuasca is why Deontay lost that fight. It probably was just everything great must come to an end.
Fair.
Right? Everyone has their time, and there's many reasons. But I believe that, not having a great career, and then after you're done, ending up in prison or divorced or in jail, prison jail, or bankrupt, right? Or
That part.
emotionally unhinged is not the way. So everyone should do yoga.
Well, he said it, not me.
Yeah, do yoga to get away from the drama, baby mama drama, drugs, jail. If you want a good life, get with the yoga.
Find what works for you.
Yeah.
Whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates, whether it's cycling, whether it's going for a hike.
Right.
Just find what it is for you.
Find what it is for you.
And just don't give up on that. I feel like, retiring and dealing with injury, there's so many things. There's challenges in life, right?
There is challenges in life. Yeah.
Next play.
Next play. Wow. You ever think about coaching?
Maybe like life coaching.
You'd be
Coaching
a
for
good
life.
basketball coach
Basketball
too, man.
coach. Again, it's all a metaphor for life.
It's all metaphor for life. It really is. We play a game here,
Yeah.
right? How tall are you about?
5'11".
5'11". Okay, you have good height too. I like to ask people, if you could box anyone for charity, for awareness, you have to pick somebody. Who would you want to box?
Ooh. Can I say you?
Me?
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Me for charity?
Yeah.
Okay, she thinks she could beat me, y'all. That's okay. That's a good. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think she can take you.
I think she could, right? She said she's like,
I'm flexible.
I'm only like 2 inches.
I can dodge.
I'm only about 2 inches taller than her, so she's like, yeah, I could beat this guy. You know what I mean? He's not that flexible. He sucks in Pilates. I mean, he's not heavy yoga. Yeah. Okay. I also want to, before I let you go, I know you have super duper cool yoga instructor things to do, right? But how you feeling about your previous sport, the WNBA and the Caitlin Clark situation? How you liking? Do you feel like? Let me ask you more specifically. Okay. People are saying there's a lot on her. There's a lot of people fouling her. She's being mistreated in the sport, and she's the one that's like really building it up. Do you feel like this is true? As a rookie, is she being treated fairly, or is this normal, or is this something that's abnormal?
Well, I mean, people are clearly talking for a reason, right? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't knock that. And in terms of her, building the sport, I think, the growth that the WNBA has had over the years has been not just one. I don't think it's just one person. I think it's, society waking up. I think it's obviously the efforts that the league has put into the WNBA. I always like to say, build it and they will come.
Right.
Actually, my cousin, she plays for the LA Sparks.
Wow.
the WWB team there, and it's really been exciting to see her journey. And
Yeah.
they're flying charter private planes now. They used to
Wow.
put them on the
Let's
like
give
regular
Cuz a
coach.
shout out. I'm sorry. Let's
Yeah.
give Cuz a shout out.
Azare Stevens.
Yo.
Stevens gang,
Yo, let me-
Savage Season Stevens. You
Yo,
know
let
the
me get-
vibes.
yeah, let
She's
me get-
playing tomorrow and Saturday.
Word?
Yeah,
yo,
Barclays.
just show love. Two tickets. Man, 2 tickets. Something.
We got you. We got you. The WNBA games are lit.
I know it is lit, right?
They're lit.
Yo, for real.
The energy in the arena is incredible. But yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to Z.
yeah.
Shout out to the WNBA.
Yo,
All
we
women
gonna-
athletes out there.
Yeah, get you up here. Like, come talk to the gang.
Yeah.
I know, dang, like you could really become a WNBA groupie. That's quick,
It's
right?
a thing.
It's
Do you
a
know
thing
the
now.
SNL, like the TV show?
Yeah,
the comedy show?
yeah.
They did a segment on like WNBA groupies. It's it's like a thing.
Wow, it's a thing now,
It's
right?
a thing.
Yo, I felt it coming over me. I had to catch myself. I said, "I'm gonna ask for tickets." Like, I don't like. I'm glad to
That's so
see
funny.
you guys. See you guys shining.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it. I feel like it was when I started paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back. Candace started paying attention a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I was a little boy though, right?
Yeah.
And then Skylar.
Yep.
I was looking.
Yep.
Then the Angel Reese, Tony Yayo thing.
Yep.
It got me.
Mm.
It was last year, right? It got me. And then I saw the other, Caitlyn doing it. I think it's, I think it's as much Angel as it is, Caitlyn.
Yeah.
I think that it just kind of shows where the country is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that there's a lot of amazing women that play ball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
You had Dakota or
Dakota.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the show.
Dakota Gonzalez.
Yep.
A lot of amazing women that play ball
Mm-hmm.
that they could have highlighted them
Mhm.
and did a lot what they did. Like, over here, 42nd State,
Right.
the State Farm joint where like everything is Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Every billboard
Yeah.
was pretty dope. I would just like to see that spread around
Yeah.
more.
And I think people are speaking up about that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think everything always needs everything shouldn't be about color, and we don't always need a great white hope to start putting things into. Like, oh, we have her now. Let's do it. Let's put money into it. There's a lot of other black women right now, and
Yeah.
other Spanish and even other white women that are really
Mhm.
really really good, and
Yeah.
they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Better late than never.
better late than never. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we know why these girls are upset. They got to start giving them some more, like more money to those contracts. Start
Man,
yeah, man, right?
I agree.
Yeah, they couldn't let me be the chairman. I'll be cooking everybody up, But anything, where can people find you?
Yeah. S3 Yoga.
S3.
That's probably I've either S3 Yoga or Sav Stevens on Instagram.
Okay.
If you type in my name, Savanna Stevens, I'll pop up.
Yo, her Instagram is fire. I saw her photos, y'all. I was like, this is like real professional stuff. Her hair is blown. Like, it was dope. Like, I was like, wow, this is a good page. I gotta get my page together.
I received that.
Yeah, no, for real, I was very impressed.
Thanyou.
Professional. You have a photographer you want to shout out? Like anybody?
I do it for a living. So like all my photos are professional because I'm modeling.
Right.
pretty
Oh, so
much.
it's like mad different people.
Yeah.
So do you have like a preset or something? Like I know like how like art rappers have like, yo, this is how my voice is gonna sound. Like, do you tell them like, yo, you take my pictures this way?
No, I mean, I always just, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I'm just always showing up as myself, right? So photographers will capture the energy,
catch
the
that.
vibes, vibes transcend vibes.
That's fine.
A good side though. You was like,
She did, right?
I saw that.
I was like, I know my side.
Yo,
You always said that.
I'm like, can
Yeah,
we switch? That's
this
not my
is
side.
my-
That's not my good side.
this is my bad side. She was like, yo, Just, you know, Biggs, you don't be sitting on this side. I'm like, nah,
I'm like,
it's
which-
cool.
Okay,
It's,
cool.
it's cool,
No, because
Big.
I literally did a podcast yesterday, and it was this side. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to
Damn.
not. I don't know if I'm gonna post that one.
It's good, big dog. So, I know this is, you did one yesterday. She's been doing her like her, what's it called? Like her
My
Press
circuit.
run stuff.
Yeah, press.
But this is your favorite pod, right? This
Yes.
Is, yeah, I knew it. Yeah, I knew it.
Well, what I love about
Okay.
your show is like I literally this conversation now is no different than the conversation we were having when we met, right?
Wow,
like
yeah,
without the
true.
cameras.
True. All right. Yeah.
So yeah, just
got-
appreciate you keeping it real.
Yo, Savanna, thank you so much for coming through. Great energy. I feel
Thank
at
you.
peace. You guys tap in with her. If you're an
Yeah.
athlete, if you're injured, or not injured, to prevent injuries. I mean, I've seen from Floyd Mayweather to Sean Porter do yoga. I should have got on the ride
Yeah.
sooner.
It's never too late though.
It's never too late. It's never
And
too late.
again, never. I always say to guys, like, it's never instead of. It's in addition to your
Exactly.
existing training program.
Exactly. And yoga is masculine, is gangster.
It's
So y'all-
gangsta. Tap in,
Y'all
and you
tap
need
in.
both energy, like right.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
feel,
yeah.
You need to tap into your feminine a little bit. That
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
So then you can show up,
Yeah.
deal with all your emotions and shit on the yoga mat, so you can show up.
Exactly.
Ready
Get it
to
out
go.
the way. Get it out the way. You don't want
One
to just show up
last,
somewhere
you know,
else.
we have all these sayings. One last little like saying I always have. It's like flexibility without strength leads to fluidity. Like you need strength. You can't just be flexible. You need the strength too.
Facts.
Strength without flexibility it leads to rigidity. You
Wow.
can't just have the strength. You need both.
What was that word you said? Rigidity?
Rigidity.
I never heard that
Rigid.
word.
Like you don't want to be too rigid.
Rigidity. Oh, I just said
Rigidity.
rigidity. I was
No,
like, I never heard
rigid
that one.
with
I'm
the
like,
R.
dang. Yo, you got,
But right. Like you need both, right? You can't be super strong.
Rigidity.
And again, think about the long game here.
Yo, you got all the bars, man. Yo,
Maybe I'll come up with like an album too.
Your pen
You
game
never
is
know.
crazy.
You never know.
And who was that artist that you played in there that sounded like Future?
It's probably it wasn't Future.
Nah, you said this ain't Future because he was talking about.
He was talking about, like-
staying woke and
Yeah.
eating
I think that was
good and-
Londrell.
Londrell, yeah, I go tap
Yeah.
in Londrell. Londrell is like the yoga
Tap in.
woke Future.
Yeah.
I'm feeling woke Future.
Mind, body, spirit, man.
Absolutely. Savannah, thank you so
Namaste.
much. Guys, tap in with her, book a
Tap
session.
in.
She's the best
Yep.
in the game. I'm telling
I'm
you.
gonna help you be the best in the game.
Help you be the best
Give
in
you
the
that
game.
edge.
Thank you for another great episode,
Thank
Savannah.
you.
You have a great day and a great rest of the week. Thank you
Appreciate
for pulling
you.
up on us.
Thank you for having me.